they would speak of thousands of years of conquests and kings. Well now, thanks to the latest technology, they finally can. In an all-new light show, the story of one of the world's most famous kings comes to life, David. What better place to tell the story of a biblical king than right here at the Tower of David Museum, an ancient citadel located at the western edge of the Old City in Jerusalem.
My choice was to make a show about King David that the main line is art. That means to make a traveling into the most famous artistic depictions through the ages.
Though the museum is named after him, King David is not connected to the citadel. In fact, he lived 1,000 years before any part of it was built. Even so, David's story, from boy shepherd to hero to king of Israel and Judea, has captured the imagination of people everywhere. And he's become a powerful symbol for Jerusalem, a city that's holy to the world's 3 Abrahamic religions.
King David was the king who established the city as the capital of the Jewish people. He was, of course, a warrior, but also a musician. And he was the most popular character in the history of art.
Using cutting-edge technology, King David depicts the king's mythical life, from the moment his great-grandmother Ruth the Moabite arrives in Bethlehem, to his defeat of the giant Goliath, to his reign in Jerusalem. And it's unlike anything that's ever been seen in Israel before.
Both the software is new and the projector is a new technology altogether. This is one of the first places in the world using it.
The show is a collaboration between the UK, France, and Israel, and it took a team of designers and technicians a year to produce. King David, a magical experience, light years ahead of the rest.
And for more on that story, we're joined in the studio by our culture correspondent, Maya Margit. Firstly, tell us about some of the technology that went into that show.
Right, so it was quite a major production for them. They basically have done these nighttime experiences or night light festivals before at the Tower of David, but this time they moved from lamp-based projectors to these laser projectors, this very new technology from the UK. It's based on technology from the UK from this company called Digital Projection. And it gives you this really extremely high-resolution picture that's very, very bright. It's 35 million pixels worth of imagery on the walls of this museum. And they had 10 kilometers worth of cables. It took them a whole lot of time with technicians, curators, designers, computer specialists to design this experience for everyone. It looks flawless when you watch it, but you can tell that a lot of work went into it.
Now, as a Jerusalem admirer, I know that it's called the Tower of David, but has nothing to do with King David. It's actually an old mosque that was named the Tower of David. So why King David have they focused on him?
Yeah, I think it's important to clarify that Tower of David Museum is named after the king, but there's no actual connection because it was built 1,000 years after he supposedly lived. But basically, King David is a symbol for Jerusalem. Right. He's a symbol of the Jewish connection specifically to Jerusalem. So there is a kind of political element to the show, you know, reasserting and strengthening the Jewish connection to Jerusalem in the history.